You're standing at the gate, watching Group 1 board a plane that still has hundreds of empty seats. Then Group 2, then Group 3. By the time your number is called, the jet bridge is packed and the aisle inside has stopped moving. Someone is wrestling a suitcase into the overhead bin. Another passenger needs to get out so a window seat passenger can squeeze past. And suddenly, a process airlines perform thousands of times every day looks almost unbelievably inefficient. Why not just board from the back to the front? Or call the window seats first? Or use one of the mathematically optimized methods that researchers say can be much faster? Airlines care deeply about time. A plane sitting at the gate isn't carrying paying passengers, and a slow turnaround can push delays into every flight that aircraft operates later. So, if faster methods exist, why do airlines keep using a system that creates lines, aisle traffic jams, and 9 different definitions of priority? Because airlines aren't optimizing boarding for speed alone. They're also protecting loyalty perks, selling upgrades, managing overhead bins, accommodating real people, and trying to make a messy process predictable. The result may not be the fastest way to fill an airplane, but it can be a very effective way to run an airline business. First, let's look at why boarding feels so slow. A single-aisle airplane has one narrow path serving well over 100 people. Every time someone stops to lift a bag, check a row number, remove a jacket, or turn around, everyone behind them stops too. Researchers call one version of this aisle interference. The important part is simple. Passengers cannot pass the bottleneck. Then there's seat interference. If the aisle seat passenger sits down before the person at the window arrives, the aisle passenger has to stand back up, step into the aisle, and let the other person cross. One tiny reshuffle can block everyone behind that row. Multiply those interruptions across an entire cabin, and boarding becomes less like filling seats, and more like sending traffic through a one-lane construction zone. This is why the obvious solution, back to front, isn't always the fast one. If an entire group is sent to the back, those passengers gather in the same part of the aisle and compete for the same overhead bins at the same time. Only 1 or 2 people may be actively stowing luggage while everyone else waits behind them. Random boarding can sometimes perform better simply because passengers spread themselves across the cabin. One person loads a bag near row 30, while another sits down near row 18 and someone else reaches row 8. More of the aisle is being used at once. The fastest theoretical approaches push that idea much further. One famous example is the Stefan method, developed by physicist Jason Stefan. Instead of filling the airplane in solid blocks, it spaces passengers several rows apart, usually starting with window seats and alternating sides. The goal is to let several people load bags and sit down at the same time without blocking one another. In a controlled experiment using a mock airplane cabin, optimized methods produced significant time savings over traditional approaches. So, mystery solved? Give every passenger an exact position and board the plane like a perfectly choreographed dance? Not quite. The method works best when people arrive at the gate on time, stand in the correct order, follow instructions, know where they're going, and separate from companions when necessary. That is not how most airport gates behave. Families want to board together, couples share bags, children need help. Some passengers arrive after their group has been called. Others need additional time or assistance. And in the United States, passengers with disabilities who need that help have a legal right to pre-board. The airline also doesn't know exactly how long each person will take to lift a bag, whether the bag will fit or whether someone will discover they're in the wrong row. A system that is brilliant in a simulation can become fragile when one missing passenger leaves a carefully designed gap in the sequence. And creating a perfect order has a cost at the gate. The airline would have to sort more than 100 people by row and seat, keep companions organized, handle late arrivals, and enforce a pattern many passengers have never seen before. You might save time inside the airplane while creating a new traffic jam outside it. Airlines tend to prefer a smaller number of groups because the system is easier to explain, print on a boarding pass, scan at the gate, and repeat across many airports and aircraft. But those groups are not based only on seat location. Look at a major airline's boarding chart and you'll see the company's entire customer hierarchy. passengers needing assistance may pre-board. Premium cabins and top-tier members go early. Then come other loyalty levels, certain credit card holders, customers who bought priority, and different economy fares. American Airlines currently publishes a boarding order that eventually runs through groups 1 to 9, alongside earlier categories for assistance, premium cabins, and families. Delta's published system similarly assigns customers across 8 numbered zones after pre-boarding, with placement influenced by cabin, status, card membership, and fare product. That isn't a seating algorithm. It's a rewards program standing in a line. Early boarding is valuable because overhead bin space is limited. Your assigned seat will still be there if you board last. The space above it might not be. And bin anxiety is partly created by the economics of baggage itself. On trips where checking a bag costs extra or means waiting at baggage claim, more travelers try to carry everything aboard. That turns the boarding order into a competition for a resource the airline knows is scarce. Travelers who want to avoid checking a bag have a real reason to board sooner, especially when a full flight makes bin space uncertain. Airlines can attach that reassurance to a premium cabin, elite status, a branded credit card, a more expensive fare, or a paid priority option. American explicitly sells priority on eligible trips. Delta's fare products and status tiers also use earlier boarding as a visible benefit. So the boarding order does 2 jobs at once. It moves people onto the airplane, and it demonstrates who bought or earned a more valuable relationship with the airline. That creates an awkward trade-off. A perfectly optimized sequence might ask a top customer in an aisle seat to board after a basic economy passenger sitting at a rear window. Mathematically, that could be faster. Commercially, it turns priority boarding into please wait while we call the ideal seat geometry. And once an airline has promised early boarding as a benefit, removing it can make a credit card, loyalty tier, or premium fare feel less valuable. The airline isn't simply choosing between a fast method and a slow method. It's choosing between several goals that conflict with one another. Board quickly, keep families together, accommodate passengers fairly, protect premium benefits, avoid gate confusion, make sure the process works even when bags, people, and arrival times are unpredictable. There is another important distinction. The fastest average time is not always the most useful result. Airlines need boarding to be reliable. A method that is incredibly fast when everyone follows it, but falls apart when 5 passengers are missing, may be harder to schedule than a slightly slower method with fewer surprises. The boarding process also shares the turnaround with cleaning, catering, fueling, baggage loading, crew preparation, and maintenance. Research has found that boarding can be time-critical and influence turnaround delays, but it isn't the only clock running at the gate. Saving a few minutes matters most when boarding is actually the task holding the airplane back. This helps explain why airlines test changes without converging on one universal answer. Different cabins, routes, fare structures, carry-on rules, passenger mixes, and boarding doors produce different problems. A method that works for a low-cost airline, using stairs at the front and back, may not fit a large carrier using one jet bridge and several loyalty tiers. So, are airlines boarding planes inefficiently on purpose? In one sense, yes. Most are not using the mathematically fastest possible seat order, but the reason isn't that they enjoy watching passengers stand in the aisle. The boarding line has become part logistics system, part customer service policy, and part product catalog. Pure speed is competing with every other promise printed on the boarding pass. The strange part is that the chaos isn't necessarily evidence that nobody designed the system. It may be evidence that the system was designed to solve a completely different problem than the one passengers can see. You see an empty airplane that needs to be filled. The airline sees a cabin, a loyalty program, a credit card partnership, a legal obligation, a pile of carry-on bags, and a departure clock, all arriving at the same door. That's what was hiding past the fine print. If you like discovering why familiar systems work in surprisingly complicated ways, subscribe. There are plenty more waiting in line.